Good evening, everybody. This is January 3rd, 2019. Happy New Year. Meeting of the Northampton City Council. I'm Ryan O'Donnell. I'll be presiding tonight. These proceedings are being audio and video recorded, and we'll begin with public comment. This is an opportunity for the public to speak on any issue you wish. There are only two rules. First, please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and also remember that this is your time to give your opinion. The council is forbidden by its rules from having a back and forth. The reason for both these is to make sure everyone has equal time and is heard fairly. So let me start with the sign-up sheet, and afterwards I'll ask others who have not signed up if they wish to speak. The first person is Andy Trisha. Mr. Trisha, if you give your name and address for the record, please.
Andy Trisha, live on Bridge Road, Florence, Mass. I'm here before you tonight because of last time you had a meeting, Dana Goldblatt got up and made some comments in front of the council, and I felt like I had to respond to him, so I will. She repeatedly chose to call Northampton Police Department violence workers. She defended her comments by saying violence workers is the proper term for people who are paid to use violence on behalf of the state. I've served with the Northampton Police Department for 40 years. I am not, nor ever have been, a violence worker. Violence worker is hardly descriptive of the men and women that I've worked with over the years at NPD. They're honorable, highly trained, professional, and I won't stand by as someone stoops to call them violence workers. Dealing with violence is part of what police do, a very, very small part. We train for medical calls, we investigate various crimes. Police respond to calls that most people cannot even imagine. Having to advise loved ones that a family member is gone. Police have to deal with various issues and wear many hats. They're called on to be social workers and crisis workers at a moment's notice. For this, we have to be called violence workers by an attorney. Most officers I know would and have stopped and rendered aid for many things without being asked to do so because they truly care, off duty and on duty. Because of their training, equipment, and experience and compassion, lives have been saved. Police are the ones people call on to begin to solve their problems during the day, in the middle of the night, Saturday, Sundays, holidays, when their social worker, city councilor, or lawyer can't be contacted. And all through that, these issues, the police are expected to be and do respond with compassion, understanding, respect. That's something I believe Ms. Goldblatt should learn. Violence workers, really. Violence is defined as a behavior including physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Police are trained in defensive tactics, firearms, so they can use the proper amount of force, not violence, to stop and control a situation. It's not an easy task. Use of force in itself is not violence. The intent to hurt is something that the police do not take with them on the scene. The city is obligated to properly train and equip its officers. The department should be equipped with all the less than lethal options that are available. They are not. Having the proper equipment and training are essential to public safety and officer well-being. Police are the ones that investigate violence that has occurred to others. It's not easy to deal with that. They receive training on how to deal with the victims as well as the stress involved. Police train on how to deal with child victims. They're also equipped for that. We have stuffed animals. They might be from Walmart. Maybe you want to investigate that.
Thank you, Mr. Trushaw, for those comments. And what I ask everyone is that we refrain from applause one way or the other, no matter what the content is of people's speech, so that everyone can be heard. Thank you. The next person is Judith Fine, please.
Judith Fine, Northampton. I have lived in this great city for over 40 years. I've felt safe, protected, and insulated from many of the horrors beyond our city. However, lately, I haven't felt so comforted. As a former city councilor, I understood that the role of city councilors is to represent the constituents in your ward and to listen and respond to their concerns. I also know that councilors are elected because the voter expects their councilor to do their homework and to use their own judgment and weigh the consequences of their actions and decisions for the entire community. I must share with you that I am appalled and disheartened by this seeming lack of backbone and, quite frankly, balls that this body before me has displayed in the past year concerning our police department. Does it mean nothing to you that our police department has received superior accolades and awards from across the country because of the outstanding work and innovative approaches that Chief Casper has instituted? Several months ago, after much brouhaha, you rejected the department's request to put cameras in the center intersection because perhaps loiterers would be able to be viewed. Are you kidding me? Every person in this room has the ability to capture any and every minute detail that happens on the streets, and they can do anything they want with it. Our department requested cameras to help solve possible future incidents, to protect you, and promised not to misuse this vehicle to potentially solve crime. Several months ago, you rejected our chief's request to go to another country to learn from amongst the best about defense and other approaches to ensuring our safety. Do you have the intelligence to make that decision based on sound principles? Again, several people spoke against, and you resounded with pressure to the mayor to cancel the trip. And now, a gift that would save our city money be used for critically important police training to remove ammunition from a store that no longer wishes to sell it and offers it freely to our department is rejected because you don't like Walmart? Because you don't like that this multi-billion-dollar corporation might get a $13,000 write-off? Are you kidding me? Where's your leadership in protecting the morale of our departments? Where's your leadership in praising the work that this incredible police department has accomplished? Where will your leadership be when our chief and captains can no longer tolerate your demoralizing attitudes and leave? Who do you think will care to apply for these positions in a city that doesn't support its own police department? Yes, it's important to listen to all sides of a situation, give respect, and keep an open mind. It's important to come to a consensus decision based on sound practices and knowledge, listening to experts that present to you, not emotional reactions of those that may have their own agenda. Being a city councilor is being a leader. Being a leader means to lead, to show the way, to protect and care for the safety of all of us. We are blessed by Chief Casper and the captains, sergeants, and lieutenants and officers that serve us and put their lives on the line every single day for you and for me, for us.
Thank you, Ms. Fine.
Please, I'm going to finish this sentence. I implore you to find ways to stop this demoralizing anti-police rhetoric, and please find ways to praise and respect and award the dedicated professional work that our police department does.
Okay, thank you.
24 hours a day,
much.
7 days a week, and then maybe I can be proud of you.
Thank you very much. The next person is Natalia Munoz, please.
Hi, everybody. I wonder if you feel right now the way the Northampton Police Department felt when that donation was sent to the committee. You know, being your intentions, your good intentions being questioned. I respect and admire all of you, the work that you do, the questions that you raise, your thankless job. And I didn't agree with what you did in terms of this donation. It would have been really great for the Northampton Police Department to have this money, these bullets, so they can do their training. And they're part of our community. And if we keep pushing them back, if we keep regarding the Northampton Police Department as if it were the police department of Staten Island or Baltimore, instead of being the Northampton Police Department, which are actually a great bunch of people, and there may be there may be a few who are not so great, but the vast majority are. And I get very discouraged when I hear people come up to the public comment and question the integrity of the Northampton Police Department as if we were dealing with these monsters. Yes, police departments have historically, systemically been oppressive and racist, for sure. But that is not where the Northampton Police Department is. So when Walmart says, hey, you know, we got $13,000 in ammo, do you want it? It's like, I feel that it's the city's role to say, thank you very much. Thank you, Walmart. We appreciate it. And then maybe that $13,000 can be used for the chief to pay for more bias training classes for the officers or whatever else that they need. Now, having said all of that, I know you've been under a lot of attack. I want to encourage Walmart to reconsider, and I don't know if that's up to you. I don't know if it's up to you as a city council president to reach out to Walmart and say, please reconsider this donation. But it would be a shame if this just ended with Walmart withdrawing its offer to help the Northampton Police Department with some much needed equipment. And thank you, each and every one of you, for your public service. And thank you, I know you're leaving in about a year. I appreciate your public service as well.
Thank you for those words. Thank you for those comments as well. And we'll go next to Lori Loisel, please.
I'm Laurie Loisel.
You can just leave,
Whoops.
Laura. It'll pick you up, yeah.
Oh.
Now it won't. There you go.
Sorry. Okay, I'm Laurie Loisel from Grant Avenue. I also just wanted to, I'm in the funny position of feeling like I want to defend the police department, and I generally don't feel like I have to do that. I think they can take care of themselves, but I feel like there's, and where I'm coming from is I feel like there's sort of an inaccuracy going on, several inaccuracies about the police department. So I just want to say for the record, well, I don't think they're violence workers, and I think that our police department is pretty progressive. I think it started under Russ Senkowitz. I think Jody Casper carried it on. And I'm not sure everybody knows all the training they've done. So in 2016, they did this, Jody Casper brought trainers in from the School for International Training in Brattleboro to do some anti-bias work with them. Nobody asked her to do that. She did that. And then the DA's office, I work for the DA's office. I'm not speaking on behalf of the DA, but we brought, at Chief Casper's request, another training to all the police departments in Hampshire and Franklin County. And this was inspired by Chief Casper. And it was a day-long training that every single police department was invited to, but Northampton was the one that signed up first. She sent every single officer to do this day-long anti-bias training. And I know that's not enough. I know that it's not a one and done, and that's what they were told. But I feel like they do things to train to be better community police officers. What that was the fair and impartial policing. It's evidence-based training to sort of teach about the unconscious bias, the role of unconscious bias in policing. They have the DART program. They started the DART program, which is police officers going to the homes of people who have overdosed with a social worker. They send somebody to regular meetings of a trauma-informed Hampshire County. That's Chief Casper sending people to, because she understands what prevention is all about. They have trained on how police can work better with transgender community. So in short, I feel like they're doing a lot to be better cooperators with the community and serving the community in a really holistic way. So I feel like I wish that you guys, I guess, would defend them a little bit. You know, if I was working, these are working people. They work really hard, and sure, we can criticize them, but I also feel like they are employees of Northampton, and they must feel like they don't have any support from their elected leaders, and that doesn't seem right to me. I also wanted to say one more thing, which is that, and Gina Louise and Ryan were on this committee. The chief stepped up to get involved with the Obama initiative of the police open data portal to put all the data from the Northampton Police Department online so that people could know what the police department is doing. And I think that's another progressive initiative. So
Thank you very much. Larry Hott, please.
Thank you. Larry Hott from 65 Mann Terrace in Florence. Thank you for all your good work on these issues. I'm here because I'm not pleased with the tenor of the conversation recently, particularly the conversations about our police force and the proposed Walmart donation of ammunition. I'm not naive. I know that there is a lot of concern about the use of force, stop and frisk issues here and elsewhere, and of course racial profiling, and I share those concerns. But I feel like the police, at least in what I've read and heard, here in Northampton, they've been tarred with the same brush for actions that have happened mostly in other cities and regions, and that's flat out prejudice. And that's prejudice in the literal meaning of the word. We're prejudging our police for the actions of others. And I'm really unclear about the rejection of the donation of ammunition that the city otherwise has to buy. What was that rejection? Was it a statement against the use of guns under any circumstance? That's one of the ways it came across. Was it a rejection of a gift because you found the donor odious? The rejection of that donation or proposed donation of ammunition from Walmart is an example, and I really hate to use this phrase, but it's an example of taking political correctness too far. Do we have a scale by which we judge every profit-making business in the city? Do you know that all the other businesses that make donations to the city or civic causes are pure? Of course you don't. Right? Now, I know about Walmart's blemished history. Everybody knows about that. But I also know they hand out thousands of dollars of scholarships to deserving local students every year. In fact, my daughter received one 10 years ago. Should we judge families that accept that money? Is there a public relations value for Walmart in making the donations? Of course. But that's exactly what Mobil Oil did when they sponsored Masterpiece Theater on PBS years ago. Did you not watch it because it was sponsored by Mobil? Perhaps a better analogy is the donations made by the Koch brothers to support major hospitals. Would you not enter that hospital because of who the donor is? Next time you go to Cooley Dickinson, are you going to check the list of donors before you go in? What troubles me most is that the decisions the council has made regarding these police matters is evidence of kind of a simplistic thinking, a Manichaean view, in which everything is reduced to black and white, good and evil. And Northampton and life are much more nuanced than that. I'm worried because I think we've offended our police force, major local business, and a large number of the citizenry with a negative response to concerns of the police force. And no wonder the morale at the police force is down. Is that good for the city? I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now that exhausts the sign-up sheet. Is there anyone who'd like to speak who hasn't signed up? So, Blair, please.
I'm Blair. I live in Northampton. I just wanted everyone to know that Walmart is located on North King Street, and so they're the one who canceled the donation. So I think people who are upset about the cancellation could go to North King Street and talk to Walmart.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to say anything during public comment? No? Dan? Yeah.
Hi, Dan Felton, 15 4th Ave. There was so much well-spoken thoughts and concerns so far. I really don't want to take up a whole lot more time. I just wanted to say three things. One, thank you to our police department. They do an outstanding job. I personally have benefited, as I'm sure all of you have. I experienced an assault in this community in 2017, and the police department was compassionate, helpful, and I really can't say enough about our police department. Second, and I think it's been said quite well so far, and we had an opportunity to make a very fiscally prudent decision, and instead we turned it into a political issue. And I'm embarrassed, actually, to be sort of represented and part of a community that spits on its law enforcement and on its citizens. We have an opportunity to actually have a donation from a local business, an important local business. Despite what anybody feels about them, they pay taxes and they serve a vital role in our community. And I really feel like that was a really missed opportunity. And last, I just hope that the citizens of Northampton who are opposed to a well-trained police department, as well as sound fiduciary responsibility by our city council, will take stock of what's happening in the world around us and reflect on how fortunate we are as a community. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other public comment before we convene? Okay. So hearing none, why don't we convene? I'll ask for a roll of the council, please.
Here.
Present.
Here.
Councilor Labarge. Councilor Murphy.
Here.
Councilor Nash.
Here.
Councilor O'Donnell.
Here.
And Councilor Shara.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, but we have no public hearings. No updates from me. Any other updates from members of the council? None? Mr. Mayor, do you have any updates?
Happy 2019.
Thank you very much. Let's see what else we got here. No resolutions. Consent agenda contains following items. First, minutes of December 20th, 2018. And second, appointments to the Charter Review Committee, which are, you read the actual, that's okay. The appointments, they are from Ward 3, Dylan Gaffney, 23 Marshall Street. And then from the Mayor's Office, Lynn Simmons, West Hampton Road. Any removals from the consent agenda? Motion to
Approval of
approve.
the consent agenda, please.
Seconded by
Second.
Councilor Shara. No discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? The agenda is approved. Recess now for finance.
Laura, would you call our roll, please?
Councilor Murphy.
Here.
Councilor Fine. Present. Councilor Labarge.
Present.
And Councilor Shara.
Here.
All right, and our only item on finance is to approve the minutes of December 20th. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, any corrections, additions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there any new business? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
I congratulate Councilor Murphy. That was the finest Finance Committee meeting I've ever observed in my entire tenure. Let's go through second reading financial orders. The first is 18-216, in order to grant a driveway easement to Albert Mosley. Motion on this?
Approve.
Second.
Discussion, please. This isn't the one we were waiting on information on, was it? No, that was Woodmont, I believe. Okay, so any more discussion? Roll call.
Councilor Bidwell.
Yes.
Councilor Carney.
Yes.
Councilor Dwight.
Yes.
Councilor Fine.
Yes.
Councilor Labarge.
Yes.
Councilor Murphy.
Yes.
Councilor Nash.
Yes.
Councilor O'Donnell.
Yes.
Councilor Shara.
Approved in second reading. Next, 18-218, in order to authorize acquisition of storm drain easement off Marshall Street. Made by Councilor Labarge and seconded by
Second.
Councilor Bidwell. Any discussion on this order? Okay. On second reading, roll call.
Councilor Carney.
Yes.
Councilor Dwight.
Yes.
Councilor Fine.
Yes.
Councilor Labarge.
Yes.
Councilor Murphy.
Yes.
Councilor Nash.
Yes.
Councilor O'Donnell.
Yes.
Councilor Shara.
Yes.
And Councilor Bidwell.
Yes.
Approved on second reading. And next, 18-219, in order to authorize acquisition of easements for road improvements at Bradford Street and Woodmont.
Move to approve.
Who seconds that? Councilor Shara seconds that. Discussion on this? Councilor Nash?
Yeah, so last time, Ms. Morero was here, and she's the abutting property owner. She was a little confused as to, as I was a little confused initially, about what this easement meant. From her point of view, it seemed to be on her property, and that actually prior to the meeting, the mayor committed to having the city meet with her and clarify matters. I'm happy to report that Director LaScalia actually went out to the site with Ms. Morero and spent time, really going over, walking, where the pipes were and what the easement meant. And I spoke to her yesterday, day before, and she is comfortable with this moving forward. And I just want to express my appreciation to the mayor's office and also to Director LaScalia for all they have done.
Okay, very good. Any other discussion on this? Sounds like we're all set. Good, so I'll ask for a roll call.
Councilor Dwight.
Yes.
Councilor Fine.
Yes.
Councilor Labarge.
Yes.
Councilor Murphy.
Yes.
Councilor Nash.
Yes.
Councilor O'Donnell.
Yes.
Councilor Shara.
Yes.
Councilor Bidwell.
Yes.
And Councilor Carney.
Yes.
Approved in second reading. There are two ordinances that must be referred. The first is 18-222, an ordinance relative to taxis and livery vehicles. Motion to refer at a minimum to legislative matters. Do I hear that motion?
Actually, I would ask that we move them both,
Okay.
Both items 18.223 as well,
And they only go to legislative?
and refer to legislative matters.
And they don't need to go to TPC? Or they come
They originated through the.
I fully expect the chair of TPC to be present at legislative matters to
Okay,
help
he
us.
pretty much goes to every committee meeting.
Yeah, he
To his
does.
credit, yeah.
He's
Wouldn't miss it.
Very good. So if they're not going anywhere else, we have both those ordinances.
That's it.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilor Klein. Any discussion on the referral? Then all those in favor of the referral say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, any abstentions? Those referred, any new business?
like to move for adjournment, please.
Okay, seconded by
Me, second.
Councilor Shara. Any opposed to adjournment? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.